everybody. Welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Opera. This is episode 11 for August 25th, 2018.
To hell with the world. I don't even care. Do you know what happened today, Jared?
These are starting to smell funky.
Do you know what do you know what happened today?
Tell me.
I got out of my car to pick up. So in Germany, it's a tradition to put shit on the side of the road that you don't want anymore so that other people can have it. And I am a connoisseur. I am a freaking connoisseur of trash that people leave out on the road. I find the best stuff ever. So today I found a goodie. I found a real goodie. And I got out and I heard something fall out of my car, looked, nothing I didn't see anything.
Okay.
And then when I got home, I couldn't find I had my sunglasses, which have prescriptions on when this happened. When I got home, I couldn't find my real glasses. I thought to myself, oh, fuck me in the bumhole, right? And then I went back, and there was a guy sort of parked where I was parked.
Right.
And he was just sitting there waiting for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I'm like down on the ground looking, and he said, "You looking for your glasses?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Somebody just came by 5 minutes ago, put the glasses up on this windowsill there. Go to the windowsill.
Yeah.
Gone.
Fuck, man.
Somebody stole my prescription sunglasses or my prescription glasses. Not even sunglasses.
Fuck.
What the fuck?
I gotta turn
What does
you down.
somebody need for normal glasses?
That's fucked up, man.
I don't get it.
Because that whole, I don't know if they do this in America, but I noticed this first in Germany, where they, hang a scarf on a tree branch.
Yeah, I like
Or they
it.
hang gloves, on a stop sign. If you lose something, they find it, man.
Yeah.
What was the goodie that you stopped for, man? What led to this?
I got 3 folding chairs.
That's good.
For
That's
the
good.
garden.
You fucking pack rat.
Turn yourself down.
Yeah,
too,
man, I'm way too loud.
You're all fucking loud.
All right.
No, I mean, but we needed those chairs. We're about to do a birthday party for Jack and Jeannie, joint birthday party.
Right.
And we needed the chairs, so I stopped and got them. And what did I get? I got my designer glasses, fucking stolen.
Well, man, I think so you're going to get the surgery now, or you're going to buy new glasses?
I think I'm going for the surgery.
Seriously?
I want LASIK. Yeah, I want my eyes all lasered up.
Yeah? I mean, everyone's got to do something, right? I already have it planned. I'm doing the hair as soon as I can.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I got 2 or 3 more years left.
Yeah, you're the
before
one
it's
that
just-
made that starter pack for balding baritones meme.
Yeah, that was about me,
on
man.
our Instagram.
Well, and I'm not willing to do the hat, I'm not willing to do that shit. But this is hilarious because until you told that story, I didn't realize you were wearing sunglasses right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing sunglasses down in the basement with less light than
And
we normally have. Because
I
I
can barely
got
look
this
at you.
light. I got this light on the side of the road too, and it's not
Damn
as
it,
powerful.
You fucking rat. Because it's real Ray Charles, man. I can't look at you because I don't know where you're looking. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
man.
All right. Let's get this beer, man.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. What do you want to go do? Yours or mine?
I don't care.
I'm just gonna grab
Don't
one.
matter none too much
Yours
to
are on
me.
top, right?
I guess, yeah.
I'm not looking, so I'll let you introduce. What's up?
We might have done this one before,
Yeah.
but this one's 50% off. Look. Reduziert 50%.
We haven't done this one yet. McGargles.
McGargles Irish Family Brewery.
No, you did the Hobgoblin.
Granny Mary's Red Ale.
Granny Mary's Red Ale.
Yeah. I did a craft beer advent calendar, right?
Oh yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
And this was in it. And when I saw it for 50% off, it was great.
Do you got a bottle opener?
Yeah, right here. Right here. So, Jared.
Yo.
I'm all over the place.
Get your mouth on it, man.
I can't.
Get your fucking.
There's
Jesus.
a microphone in the way.
We've never planned for this before.
Nah, but that's okay. It's an eventuality, and it happens sometimes. I'm just going to have to lick it up off the table. Here
All
we
right.
go, people. Here we go.
Mike spilled beer everywhere, and now he's sucking up like a vacuum. Oh, that can't be good, man. We've never cleaned this table. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, Granny McGargle.
You're
Granny McGargle.
Jesus Christ, man. I really wish we had video now, Fuck,
Granny
man.
McGargle.
We got to get these cameras going. Man, you are just sucking away.
We're going to have all kinds of diseases.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I don't know if it's going to do it for you, too. I don't know why I did it. I didn't shake it up.
Oh, fuck, man.
I
I might have done it.
Get on the mouth. Get the mouth on it. I mean.
Oh!
Now.
Okay,
If
okay.
it wasn't going to do it before, it's going to do it now.
Fuck that. I'm not using yours, man.
Oh, you think it was my opener that did it?
Look, Mike, it's good to be able to sit down with you, man, because we.
There it goes. There it goes. Oh, my God. Man.
No!
Oh, my God. Put it on the table, damn it.
No, man! Oh, this is terrible, Mike.
Put it on the table. Why is it better on the floor? I don't get
I
it.
don't know, man. I panicked. Oh, this is a train wreck, man. We're 5 minutes in.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, my fucking God. God damn it. God!
Look, mine's still doing it. Maybe this is why it
Oh,
was
I just
50%.
ripped the zipper off. Oh, this is getting worse and worse, man. Yeah. All right, Mike. New rule. No more fucking 50% off.
No more reduced.
Big Bubbly's beer.
They're like, oops, we put a little bit too much
goddamn.
carbonation in
Anyway,
there.
Mike and I have been trying to get together for like 3 days to do this goddamn podcast. Today's Saturday, and Thursday, what the fuck happened? We came here. I came here.
You didn't bring your computer.
Forgot the goddamn computer.
Yeah.
So what Mike and I did instead is we're gonna launch it soon. But we had a chicken nugget eating challenge.
Oh man, yeah.
We tried to see who could eat the most chicken nuggets.
Who do you think won? Who do you think?
Yeah. Tell us. What are you doing? You taking your shirt off?
Yeah, I'm gonna clean up this beer.
With the shirt?
Yeah, I don't care.
Jeez.
I'd rather have a clean Arbeitsplatz than anything.
Anyway, we tried to see who could eat the most chicken nuggets during Finca da Vino, and no, I'm not saying who won. You got to watch the video
That's
to see.
right, you gotta watch
But
it.
we both ate way less than I thought. I thought I was gonna get like 20 nuggets,
What? We bought 20 nuggets each.
and I was like, I hope it's enough, because I was thinking Finca da Vino's a minute 20, so I was thinking at least a nugget every 8 seconds, so I'll get at least 14, 15. Nah. Dude,
Not
this
even close
this
to it.
reminded me. I did a show recently, and at the end of the show, I drink a beer on stage, like a full beer. And opening night, I fucking kicked that shit over. No, the model that was on stage kicked it over, right? And I did exactly what you did. I panicked because it was a raked stage, and so the beer was flowing quickly down towards the orchestra. Popped my shirt off, threw it on the beer. I don't know if it was the right move to this day.
That was the right move.
I saved the orchestra, but I look like a goddamn maniac.
No, look.
to the people
You
in the
don't wanna,
audience,
you
man.
don't want to fuck. You just don't want to fuck with ruining an orchestra member's instrument.
Because
Dude,
people,
that's
yeah, I know,
that's
man.
No fun.
But there's people on stage that will like sacrifice everything to not ruin like the atmosphere, the image, you know. But I just threw my shirt off, I threw it on the beer, and stomped it out while people were clapping for me.
I would
Instead of taking my bow, I was the only person on stage.
I would sacrifice everything to stop a $40,000 instrument from being destroyed.
I thought it was the right move,
No,
but,
it was-
but
it
I
was. It
felt
totally
like I
was.
felt like it was a weird vibe.
Hey, so we once got a lot of flack for swearing too much on this channel, for saying in particular the word fuck. But there's a reason for it. And today is that reason. Today we're talking about relationships, we're talking about fucking, we're talking about sex. The
Yeah.
sex from Sex, Drugs, and Opera is in the podcast today. That's our theme.
Yeah, no, we're talking about sex, and it's gonna be a little one-sided because Mike's never had sex before.
No,
so
yeah.
No, you got 2 kids, man. You prove it.
I
You
can prove it. Yeah.
at least twice.
I got
You
it,
at least
baby.
2. Don't drink at the same time as me, man. No, yeah, we're talking about sex, and we're gonna try to not be so preachy on this one.
Well, we can't be. I mean, I can prove that I've had sex, but I can't prove that I've done a good job at it.
Yeah, that's.
Or at least from my side, you know.
I'm having trouble finding the right volume for myself.
Well,
today
dude,
here. I'm
just-
a bit yelly. I'm a bit amped up, man.
Just be better. Just be better. That's probably the best way to go about it.
So a Thursday I forgot the computer. Then Friday the Deutsche Bahn fucked me. You want to talk about having sex? I've been fucked by the Deutsche Bahn so many times now. Okay, what are you doing? You got
No, my wife finally texted me. I asked her, I said, give me the 5 things that you hate about... She's a non-singer.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
doesn't sing. Give me the 5 things that suck.
Did she send you a list?
Yeah, she sent me some.
Lay them on me.
Well, you want to do it now? Just let's get into it a little bit.
You want to ease into this?
Just
Do you want to eat?
just
Mike, you
slide
can have your
it
shirt
in.
off, but you can't do this fucking posing shit. What are you doing right now?
I'm just stretching.
This
a
is the
little bit.
weirdest fucking experience of my life. Mike's down here, nips out. There's foam fucking everywhere.
If
Mike's
I remember
wet
correctly-
crotch. He's Ray Charles with these
If
sunglasses.
I remember correctly,
Yeah.
the last one you had your pants off.
Yeah, but under the table, man. Okay, your nips are fine, man.
My nips are fine.
You got fantastic nipples, though. That's good.
Oh my god.
There's lots of nipples in the world,
Oh
man.
my god. And I've got fantastic ones.
All right, so how do you want to jump into the sex thing, man? It's such a broad topic.
Just plunge it right in. Just plunge it right in. That's really the rude way to do it, though.
Well, yeah, let's, what I want to know,
Hey.
Mike, is when do you give your kids the talk, huh? When they ask?
Oh man, I
Is that how it
haven't-
works?
I
Have you
haven't-
prepared for that at all?
No. Not. I mean, he's 4 years old. Jack's 4 years old. The oldest one's 4 years old. There's no way I've prepared for that yet.
I think around 5s, man, when they start asking those questions, he's going to ask, where did I come from?
Well,
Right now, he asked right now. Huh? You got an answer ready?
Yeah, but that's
off the top
not
of your head?
That's not a sex. That's not like okay, where do you come from? Well, you ejaculate inside a woman and blah, blah, blah. You don't do that at 4 years old,
man,
dude.
But the first talk you have is like when a mommy and a daddy love each other.
He knows he's got a
then-
penis. He knows his sister has a vagina.
Yeah, that's all you got to know at that age. I guess around like 12 or 13, then you start having some more
He doesn't give a fuck. He
does.
doesn't give a fuck or know about sex yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'll tell you a weird thing.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a weird thing that nobody prepared me for as a father of a boy, right? Little kids
Yeah.
and babies even
Yeah.
can get erections. Now, they don't do it by some sort of sexual arousement, but they
Right.
still get erections.
it's a
And
body thing.
nobody prepared me for that shit. When I just like walked in one morning and there it is, I'm like, whoa, how? What the fuck?
I got
What is that?
questions about that, but I think it's not podcast appropriate.
I don't know. I don't have answers. I don't have answers, dude.
But I mean, okay, moving on past
Can
that.
you tell me why this beer is so
This is the
goddamn
foamiest fucking beer. Every time I
bubbly?
take a sip, it's ejaculating all over
Honestly,
this
something
table, man.
something must have happened to it. They must have like kept it. Must have like been out in the sun or something. That's
Yeah.
why it was 50% reduced.
Yeah, nah.
Well,
There
dude,
has
now
to be
we
some
know.
reason. Anyway, so we're yeah, if it's suiting for the podcast, this is as premature and as ejaculatory as it fucking gets.
Man,
all right?
that's great.
I'm fucking sticky over here.
Man, I can't believe that you started off with when do you give your kids the talk though?
I just thought of it. I had to put it out there, man, because it's like something you don't prepare for. And as a parent, these conversations must come out of nowhere. Because I have memories of being a child, and I remember like being in the drive-thru at McDonald's and being like, "Mom, what's a slut?" Because I heard that word somewhere.
No.
Like 5 years old, and like you can't. When you have kids, you can't just be like, "I'm not telling you that shit," right? You have to have an answer.
Right.
And how fucking creative are you? Like. Anyway, I'm not.
I would.
We're moving on.
I don't know. I'm gonna. You might.
You
the
just-
thing
you
is,
just-
you might as well just dive into it. You want to? How about this? Give us your. Do you have your talk ready?
Of course not. I don't have children, man. What?
No, your talk from your father.
I never got the birds and the bees, man.
You never got it from anyone in your family.
No.
So look, I got it, but it's almost as little as you got, which you got nothing, and I almost got nothing.
How
right?
old were you?
Oh,
Like 16 is when usually someone sits you down.
Yeah, it was around that.
Yeah?
It was the movie with Hugh Grant, 9.5 months. 9.5 months. What's her name?
I don't know, man.
Oh, I can't remember what the actress's name is.
Yeah.
A very pretty actress. But anyway, he gets her pregnant. He doesn't necessarily, whole like cold feet data, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
that sort of thing. And they start talking about periods and menstruation and like missed that and now it's this and blah, blah, blah. And my father's reading his paper. It just happened to be on in the living room, right?
Okay.
And I'm watching, and he's got his paper up. All of a sudden, you know how like people they'll put that fathers who are reading the paper will put down just the top half of the paper
Yeah,
with the pointer fingers. They'll go whoosh,
Yes.
like that,
Yeah,
and then
classic.
look over at you. A classic one of those. He turns to me and says, "You know what this is all about?" I said, "Yeah, I think I got it." Okay, whoosh, paper back
And that
up.
was your talk.
Okay, I had two talks maybe. I
Okay.
had two. You know what this is all about talks. Okay.
Okay.
The one was my father doing that. Later,
Yeah.
my very first job
Yeah.
was being on the farm, right?
The
I
hay.
was a farmhand on
Yeah,
I don't know if I've told you about this before. The first day was I walked down, I'm like, all right. And I was 14. This is as soon as I got my worker's permit in Pennsylvania. So I walked down to where the farmer is, and he has a cow in the chute, and it's pregnant, and it's like in labor.
Okay.
And he said, and he's washing up his hands like this, like all the way up to his elbows.
Oh, God.
And he says, "This cow's pregnant. You know what this is all about?" And he said those words again. I said, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "Okay," and
Oh, my
places
God.
his arms up to the mid of his bicep into this cow
Christ,
vagina,
man.
right?
Jesus.
We're talking about sex today. We didn't say it was going to be human sex. We said it was going to be sex.
I didn't think I had to make that stipulation. man.
Well, it's out now.
Let's keep it in the realm
Anyway,
of... All right, yeah.
Listen, this is kind of... I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but that was the whole... It's a long story. It's a good story, but it's a long story.
Okay.
Let's get back to some real sex.
God damn it.
And
You got me good with
I
that
need
one.
some McGargles.
No, I mean I had like sex ed in high school, so that's where I got the talk. You know, like why can't you wear a rubber glove on your dick? Like why does it have to be a condom? Like all those questions, man, got answered back then.
You know, though, I gotta say, thinking back to being an immature little kid,
Yeah.
you have to answer those questions for
No,
kids.
you do, man, because
Why can't I just wrap my dick in a plastic bag? Why can't it be a Ziploc? Why not?
Yeah, and you can't have that be an uncomfortable conversation because we're in our 30s and we kind of get how that all works. But I was doing an opera not recently, right? And I was talking to a woman. We were all out at drinks, and she was mid 40s, right? Mm-hmm. And sorry, I'm really trying not to drop any information that leads this to anybody.
Yeah, that's
Within the last 10 years of my life, I was doing an opera in,
Right.
in a country, and this woman was like 45, and she was talking about how. She said, I'm on my period, and I love it because my boyfriend and I don't have to use a condom. And I was like, that's fucking wrong. Like, sorry, I'm getting loud. That's fucking wrong.
That's
like,
true.
I told her, I was
That's
like,
true.
I'm sorry, like, but you can get pregnant on
Yeah,
your
you
period.
totally can.
Yeah, and in fact, in some ways, it's more risky.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? And she really made me seem like an asshole, right?
Right.
And gave me this whole, like, you don't fucking tell me about my body. You don't know shit. Like, I'm fucking 20 years old and all this stuff. And then the next day, she came to me and was like, I am so sorry.
yeah, right.
I talked to people, I researched it, and yeah, you can.
Good.
And so there's people, but
Hey,
the point is there's people
I like that she came back and
I was
gave
impressed
it
by
to
that,
her.
but there's people that are 45 years old that still have questions about sex and are confused about things, you know?
Put it this way, it's a goddamn complicated situation.
You know what I would love is if at university they had like a sex ed for opera singers class.
Yeah.
You know, and the things they would cover in that is who do you fuck and how does it affect your career?
Yeah.
Right? Like showmance 101, right? And then once you graduate from like the showmance, you got to go to like
I've never heard that term, showmance. That's brilliant.
till now?
I've
I
never
thought
heard
that
that.
was common. Yeah, man. Showmance. You have a show and like you get like it's intimate and it's like really intense for 3 weeks. And so you fucking do whatever, and then it's just over.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Look, when you're on stage sometimes and you have to be it's your job to be intimate with somebody. It's your job to be kissing and up on each other and everything like that. Whoo, that is
Well, let me tell you, man.
you got to be professional.
And okay.
It's hard.
Well, here's the thing, man, because in the opera world, it's a hard thing that nobody prepares you for, and this is why it's important for us to actually talk about this. Because something I didn't realize is the reality of like, you know how many married people are fucking each other in this career? If you're listening and you don't know that, man, that's a big part of this career.
Yeah.
It is that you are doing a guest fucking opera in Toronto, but you live in fucking Philly or whatever. You're in a new city, in a new place, and married people are going to be fucking each other.
Yeah, it's that's sort of an unspoken thing, but now it's spoken. Now it is officially spoken.
And the thing
on
is,
this podcast. Hallelujah, amen.
Yeah, because opera and the theater world in general is a very touchy-feely world.
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of openness, open-mindedness, flirtiness. You can't have a very big bubble as far as people touching your body and stuff. Those people don't make it far. On stage, it has to be like, all right, Jared, you grab her, and then you act like you're sucking his dick, and you're like, all right. Especially like in Germany, like the Euro trash stuff. This is not an exaggeration. This shit happens, and
Definitely.
you got to have your boundaries. But this whole topic of how do I be romantic with someone on stage and then not carry that off the stage.
It doesn't.
Nobody talks about that. That is the condom talk to a 16-year-old for the 30-year-old opera singer.
We're talking about some in-depth stuff here because
we said we wanted to get more.
It's not. It's not. Like this is a huge topic of conversation all over the world right now. Is workplace romance, right? Now, what can happen? When can it happen, and how can it happen, is a huge topic of conversation. It's not that it's not allowed to happen.
Yeah.
I know how many people do you know that are couples now and married that met in a production?
Yeah, it's 50-50. You're right.
I mean,
it
is so many people.
Half the people that hook up in a production stay together for a long time.
And do you want to deny them?
No. I'm just saying.
That.
I'm just saying it's a hard thing because you have to find because yes, other singers have a lot in common with you, and that's an attractive thing to enter into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're with another singer, and it's like they understand all the ups and downs of the career. They're going to be probably also open-minded. Like, there's a lot of benefits to being with a singer. That's of course true. But the thing that most people can't handle is this new city, new people. You're in your own hotel room.
Yeah.
And the advice that I've given to people over the years that maybe have struggled with this, because I've seen this happen. I was in a production years and years ago, and there was a married guy and a married woman, and they were, of course, like, you see this tension building, and you kind of know where this is all leading, right? And so everyone in their mind, they sets a boundary line is like, okay, well, as long as I don't kiss or as long as I don't, fuck, then it's fine, right? But actually, everybody has a line that once you go past that line, that you're going to have a hard time coming back from. Yeah? And you got to define that line for yourself. And for a lot of people, that's you're in the hotel bar having drinks and people start going up to the rooms. And when it starts coming down to you and that person and you say, I should probably go.
That's dangerous.
But then you stay. Maybe that's your line. I've seen some guys and some girls who can go to that line and they, at the end of the night, at 3 a.m., they're drunk, they go to the room, it's fine. Some people say, the bar's closing, let's have a bottle of wine in my room. That's a different line. Maybe you can make it to that line.
That's a hard line,
That's a hard line, but I've seen people who go into the room, have the wine, listen to music, and then go back to their room.
Man.
Yeah? And the line goes further, like, hey, let's watch a movie. There's no couches in the hotel room, let's lie on the bed. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to define for yourself, where's my point where I cash in my chips and I say, I'm not willing to risk this? Because it's not just going through with it. It's also the whispers for other castmates.
The whispers for other castmates, the guilt that you carry that stuff with you for the rest of your life.
And I want to, with the like the cheating and the infidelity. But even if you're able to have that type of relationship, you have to understand that sometimes judgment comes with that. I'm going to tell the story that needs to be told, and I'm going to try to not trace
Don't
it back
call
to
anybody out, dude.
Yeah, but anyone
Come on, you've got a microphone now.
Yeah, I know, but man, it's like I can't hold these all inside. So I was doing an opera somewhere in the last 15 years.
In a country.
In a country on Earth.
Solar system.
And it was somebody's birthday. And so we went out and we all drank, and we ended up in the red light district of a city, right? What are you doing on your phone, man? You got to give me the. You got to
go.
You got to give me
keep
the.
going. I'm
yeah,
listening.
but you need your.
I'm just preparing for the rest of the podcast.
Anyway.
Go,
So we
birthday,
end up in the red light district, right? And it was 4 a.m. We were all drunk, and so there was a prostitute, as there often is in the red light district. And I said to the prostitute, "How much for him to have a hug on his birthday?" Right? I said it. Okay.
Yeah.
And she said everything costs $50.
Everything.
Yeah, whatever the currency was in this country that I was in. See, that was good, huh? Everything. She said everything costs $50, and we're like, okay. And like I thought,
what does she mean? Everything costs $50.
She means everything from a hug to whatever your imagination is costs $50. That's what she meant.
To full balls deep penetration.
Yes, the word she said in the language she was speaking was everything costs $50.
Does that mean for a certain amount of time you can do anything, or just one act costs $50?
I didn't get into the small print with her on it.
Why? I would have.
Well,
that's interesting.
Well,
and it seems like a poor business model, if I could be perfectly honest. If she's listening, please rethink it. Come on, you can make more money.
So the end of the story is like this, and this might help inform you a bit more. So we're all like, okay, like drunk group of guys just going to walk away. And the guy whose birthday was, he said, 50 for everything? And she said, yeah. So he stayed, right? He stayed. And so we all left, and we're like waiting for him. And then like 90 minutes later, we see him, right? And it was like this drunken night. We're like, oh my God, you're a fucking animal. You're fucking crazy, right? Yeah, we go to bed, the next day, we all sober up. We go to rehearsal, man. And for the rest of the run, that guy had a hard time. Because people were treating him differently. People were treating him like he was dirty, like that was a shitty thing. And in the moment, it seemed like a ha, funny, let's do this. But then afterwards, he, for weeks, for months, he had a very hard time fitting in.
Fuck that. It might be my libertarian streak and everything, but if you're in that country and it's legal and you have 2 consenting adults, I don't mind it. I don't mind it one tiny bit.
Yeah.
That's his choice. He may do with his body whatever he pleases.
And a lot of people would agree with you, but I have been in similar situations with people. There's a guy in the cast. He's married. He ends up like sleeping with the soprano, and then you got the tenor in the cast who's gonna then judge the shit out of him for the rest of the show. even if you're not married, even if it's not an infidelity cheating thing, you got two single consenting adults that fuck in a show, and then a director or a conductor is going to treat you differently because you did this.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah. On the other hand, people cannot help if they judge. People judge without. It's not a choice to judge something or somebody. You do it all the time, every single day, every minute of the day. You judge everything that you see. It's just a natural process of your brain. To deny that is to deny how we are.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people.
But I mean, to follow through on it on sort of like a moral stance and be like, oh well, yeah, well they deserve my lesser treatment because of this or that. I mean, just go fuck yourself.
It's these are the little intricacies you learn over like years of being in this career, I guess. That, man, you don't think about the first time you entered that, and like. That's why I think it's important to talk about, because at least someone out there maybe didn't think about this shit, and maybe they're in a situation right now where they're in the middle of a run of a show and tension's building, and it's like, man, there's all these ways it can go down. You can find the love of your life, and you can have a wonderful married life together, make beautiful children. We know people who have done that. You and I.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, like not a recent, like a show I did in the last 10 years.
In some country.
There was a situation where the coach, the pianist, really was going hard after the soprano.
Right.
Everyone was single. It was fine. He had an attraction to her.
Yeah.
She did not reciprocate the attraction, and she ended up sleeping with somebody else in the cast. Right, and then, man, that guy got so much shit from this pianist.
Yeah.
For the entire time, he made his life hell, which you can do.
Oh shit.
Every worst rehearsal time, embarrassed him on stage in front of people. You know what I mean? Like. You have to really think, is this all worth it?
Yeah. Well, I hear. Let's switch it up a little bit. I've got one for you.
What?
I mean, that is a very interesting topic, but it's also one that's so supremely complicated.
Yes.
I don't know if there's any headway that could be made.
Look,
because I don't want to make any judge. I mean, marriages are different. Marriages are always different. If you can't necessarily judge one person or another in the choices that they make. I'm not here to do it. You guys all go do whatever the fuck you do. Just be careful about it, because one coach I always had said, the opera world is way smaller than you think it is.
Oh my,
way smaller,
God,
right?
And not just on your country, the whole planet
world.
Earth,
right?
Oh my God.
Well, that's what
man.
the world means, dude.
No. I mean, people mean like the opera world,
yeah.
But like, no, I mean like you think that you're in Russia,
yeah,
and you think that person is not by two people connected to somebody in fucking like
yeah.
Louisiana,
What's it called? 6 degrees of separation. It's not 6 degrees. It's 2.
It's like 2. And like, I mean, God, this sex, drugs, and opera thing. Like the Instagram stuff. Like somebody adds, you like look at the profile, and it's like, oh wow, we got like 8 people in common. It's a big part of it, man. And no, I just want to say real quick. Mike and I aren't fucking like judging, but this is more of a dialogue, of a conversation of the realities of the business that I think people don't touch on.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I think that this is a bigger conversation than us just entirely, because it's a matter of workplace romance. It's a matter of being sexual in the workplace. Is it appropriate? When is it appropriate? How is it appropriate? I mean, when it's not appropriate, it's a big deal, as we've seen recently. And I don't know whether we should go into this, but man, this whole David Daniels thing that happened recently.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's a sad. A lot of people look up to that guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I remember hearing him he was the person who I heard for the first time. I said, "Who the fuck is that? Is that a woman or is that not a woman?"
Right.
I learned what a countertenor was from him.
I had the same
to hear
experience.
this shit was heartbreaking. Should we even talk about it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, because with this podcast, I mean, one of the things I wanted to do is it's supposed because you should be able to talk about, and I mean
anything. You should be able to talk about anything.
I mean, the thing with this podcast is I wanted it to be that you can talk about opera like you talk about like pop music, like anything. Like you can talk about it like a normal person, but also a deeper level of that is people tend to shy away from a lot of these like Me Too topics and this racism stuff, and it's like. you should at least be allowed to have the discussion.
Exactly.
That's
gotta
when it's
have
dangerous.
it.
That's when it's dangerous when you can't have the discussion.
When you can't have the discussion.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have to be able to at least have the discussion.
Yeah, repressed emotions are so much more dangerous.
Well, and that's how this
than
stuff gets
examined
swept under the
ones.
rug, you know?
Okay, well then let's talk about it. Recently, an article came out where a young man, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name.
No, you shouldn't say it anyway.
I shouldn't say it anyway, but we already said David Daniels' names. But it was in the article.
No, you can always talk about the person who did the wrong thing.
Right, but
Yeah,
it was in the article.
Victims,
He was
yeah, but victims you can leave out.
okay. We'll leave him out. This man talked about his experience being brought up after some sort of party. He went home with David Daniels and his husband, and claimed that he was drugged. And the next morning he woke up, and I mean, we're getting real here. Was raped.
Yeah.
And was bleeding from the anus, is what he wrote in this. This is what came out in the article.
Jesus fucking
it was
Christ, man.
hard to read.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the most graphic and awful, and it gave me a lump in my throat right away.
Fuck,
Descriptions.
man, fuck.
And I was now look. An accusation is not a conviction.
No.
It should be remembered.
Yeah.
This is why I don't want to make a judgment about it, but god damn it, it's hard to hear.
Look, I mean, it's the accusation is something that
but
exists.
it's important to hear.
It's important here. The accusation exists, right? We're an opera podcast. It happened in the world of opera.
That's right.
And when something makes waves like that, I mean, if we don't fucking bring it up on our podcast, then what the fuck are we doing?
Look,
you know what I
could
mean?
we just say this?
What?
Could we just say that when this stuff happens,
Yeah.
I just want to put a disclaimer out there for anybody who might be suffering with this sort of thing or experiencing this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
None of this stuff is ever your fault.
No.
It's never your fault.
No.
And these people, you cannot be afraid, or I know you're afraid to go forward. It's the most terrifying thing, especially when it's somebody who's
Right.
important in your industry.
Right.
But you have to remember that people will support you. There is so much support out there for it.
Yeah.
You should not try to deal with it alone. It's too much.
No.
And if there is something, come out and say it.
Well,
Unburden yourself of that.
Yeah. And
I
that,
feel so much sympathy for these
I do.
for these people.
And that why and let me just disclaimer from me, I am in no way making a comparison to what we're doing to like somebody who's gone through that. But that's why I think we should talk about this. Because if you and I, people who haven't even experienced this, if we're afraid to bring it up, like
imagine how
when you
afraid
ask me,
they might.
No,
Of
because
course.
when you ask me if I want to talk about this, the first thing I thought about is this gonna fuck up my career? Yeah, it didn't even fucking happen to me.
Right.
And I'm like, if I open my mouth and even have an opinion about this, and not even an opinion, but even just bring it up, is this gonna fuck up my career?
Right.
And that's a dangerous thought. If the opera world is such that you can't even talk about it with risk of ruining your career, then fuck that, man.
One more thing, and this is directly to anybody who might be thinking about, or somebody who this might have happened to, and they want to have a career. Let me tell you something. A career, this career, is not worth the lifetime of suppressing something like that.
No.
It's not. It is a great career. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of satisfaction from it, but god damn it, don't do it alone.
No.
Come, find somebody to talk to about it, and come out in some way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big public thing, but go to somebody. Go to the police.
Yeah, no,
do something.
There are groups and platforms and things set up for this, and
That's right. There are all sorts of hotlines.
If there's any good in this type of stuff that's been going on with the Me Too stuff, it's that there's an awareness of this, and there are groups and organizations and people that are willing to support now more than 20, 30 years ago. Because this is not new. This is not new.
No.
And I mean, the thing that I think about when you tell me this story is a lot of things. One, earlier we had this discussion on this podcast about like setting boundaries for yourself.
Right.
But also, I've had a lot of experience in my life outside of the world of opera where you are at a party or something and things are going fine, and it's amazing how quickly things can go bad.
Yeah.
And you need to really look at red flags you know? And you really have to read into situations and do your best, but also, man, say something. Speak up.
Fucking say something.
Because I'm sad to admit that early on in my career, sometimes nothing major, nothing serious, but I would see things that made me uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't speak up because of this, like, well, I don't want to fuck up my career, but I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy now on this podcast, but definitely the next time I see someone, I'm going to be like, hey, man, maybe you should go home. I think you've had enough to drink.
Right.
It's also your responsibility. If you're not involved, don't have this mentality of that's not my shit. There's some quote about that, right? That like doing nothing's as bad as fucking. Isn't there some quote?
Yeah,
about that?
I can't remember it. I can't fucking remember it. Dude, listen. We've said what we've said on that.
We move on. Sex is a topic where it's
sex can be good. Sex can be bad. Let's talk about
there's
good
yin
sex
and yang,
too,
man. All right, man.
There's yin and yang.
Are you a grower or a shower? You know,
Dude, I'm a grower and a shower.
Yeah, I'm a knower, man.
I show and then I grow. I do both. Here's one for you.
Yeah. I grow.
I do both. There's nothing wrong with showing and growing.
You know, a lot of girls
and
don't,
sharing
a lot,
and
a lot,
caring.
I had a conversation the other day with a woman like in her 30s, and she was like, "I didn't know that there's grower and showers." You know what I mean?
Yeah. You didn't?
No,
She
didn't know.
didn't? What the
What? You
fuck?
want up or down? Your volume? Up? All right, man. You wanna
What
hear
the
yourself.
Here's one for you.
Yeah.
So Wilt Chamberlain. You know does everybody know what the fuck Wilt Chamberlain did? Wilt Chamberlain had sex supposedly before every single game that he played in the NBA, and that was thousands of games.
Yeah.
He had a long ass career. I've heard people say this before. Sports people most of the time. They won't have sex before sports because they I've often heard it weakens the knees. Is what I hear. What do you think?
Yeah, boxers do the same thing. I
Really?
mean, it was in Rocky, right?
Was it? Oh, I can't
Women
remember.
weaken legs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Mick or whatever the fuck his name was.
Good job. Good impression.
Boom.
That was pretty good.
Was it? Just look.
Come on, Rocky.
He'll knock you to tomorrow, Rocky. All right, enough of that shit. Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard that singers don't want to have sex, but it's more of like a guy and I were talking about this recently, and he said it's a testosterone thing, you know, because you get this fucking like energy, and you go out there and you're like, fuck it,
Dude, the old Alasa high.
But the thing is actually, I don't know if you want to be singing like, you know, with a fucking tea kettle with the cap on. Like,
look,
it's more like a flow. You
all
know?
I
I don't
can
know
say
if you
is-
want to blue balls it out there.
Well, sometimes. If you're singing Di Quella Pira, maybe you should fuck, like right before you go on
Yeah,
stage.
but I'm saying they don't fuck so that they're backed up. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm saying they don't let the juices out so that when they're
Well,
singing,
it's
they got
true.
this like
I
energy.
am like every man. I get tired afterwards, dude. I want to go to bed.
It's
I
funny
want to
that
go to bed.
No, it's funny the different vibe you have from shows sometimes, because I did Hansel and Gretel once, and that's a show where it's one man and like 30 women, right? Because every role in that woman, the gingerbread children, Hansel, Gretel, mom,
and
everybody,
then
witch.
it's tra-la-la-la,
Fucking-
tra-la-la-la.
No, but then you have shows like Tosca, where basically it's like 30 guys and one woman, right?
Yeah, dude, you haven't answered the question yet.
What?
I like your point. Fine, whatever. Do you what do you prefer? Is it hard for you, or do you not notice any appreciable difference?
Is what hard for me? No,
I said sex.
Yeah.
Get it? Is it hard? Hard.
Sex. I mean, nah, man. I mean, like, if I have sex the day of a show, that's a bad idea.
Why?
Because for the same reason I don't go to the gym the day of a show, man. Like, that's energy gone, you know. And plus, if you're doing that,
Well, look, pedagogically, I can say that when you go,
Yeah.
there's a lot of subglottic pressure there. So maybe that's a
I think
honest to God thing.
No, I think
If you're pressing on your chords and putting a lot of pressure underneath them, you could fuck up.
I think there's probably a niche market for someone out there to make a YouTube channel about like how to
How to-
support during sex. You know,
Just like,
you know, don't hook, approach from above. You know, like it, enter with a light phonation. Ha!
just go,
Ha!
choke me, choke her.
Jesus Christ! Nah, man, sex day of a show. The morning of.
We always
but
do-
I cut out the afternoon delight,
Do you
man.
know, we
for a
almost-
matinee.
We almost never do real singing on this thing. We only ever do this depressed larynx, like,
Yeah, man, it's more fun. It's way more fun.
It is way more fun to do that.
Sex day before a show, sex right after the show, but sex on the day before a show,
I noticed no appreciable difference.
Well, I mean, because, if you're having sex for 30 seconds, then, of course, it's probably...
Shut the fuck up.
Of course, man.
Yeah, but the entire time I'm like, It's 30 hard seconds.
It matters what type of sex you're having.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? I mean, because you can't generalize sex.
30 seconds in heaven is better than 20 seconds in heaven.
Does that fly to the Concords?
Fly to the Concords, except he says 2 minutes in heaven.
Sex the day of a show. I'm out.
Doesn't bother me at all, dude.
Well, then to each his own.
Hey, how about this, though? Let's get also into relationships. I'll read
I'll get the next beer while you're doing that.
That segues into what my wife said. She said, and this isn't about sex. Tell
them what the list is.
It's not 5 things. It's 3 things that she said. Yeah?
Okay.
But the one that she mentioned was no swimming on the day of a performance.
She said this is what's difficult about dating an opera singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if she wants to go to if she wants to go to the pool or something, and I have a performance that day, I don't go. Chlorine voice is a real thing. We need to be open and talk about chlorine voice, baby.
Yeah. Fuck sex, okay? Chlorine voice. No.
Chlorine fucks your chords harder than anything could possibly do. I'm sorry.
I'm on board, man. I am on board. That shit will fuck you up.
She didn't understand it. And look, I don't necessarily notice it right away, but I fucked up an audition once because of it. Yeah. When I was young, I fucked up an audition once. I went to this it was an important audition. I got this really nice hotel. They had a beautiful pool. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to go have a nice swim. And I had a nice long swim.
Yeah.
Went to bed, No, it was even the day before. I won't do it really the day before either. If it's before you go to bed, that chlorine's sitting on that shit.
Yeah,
it's sitting on those
Do you
cords.
think, is it really the chlorine or is it the holding your breath and slamming your vocal folds together for like an hour?
What do you mean slamming your vocal cords? What do you?
Because that's how you hold your breath, man. Your cords are pushing together to stop air from coming out.
I know.
And your lungs and your body pressure and like water pressure. There's pressure on your cords.
Yeah, I feel like it's.
Yeah, but the reason I say that is because I have the same thing in a lake.
But that's a good theory.
If I swim in a lake, I notice that it fucks my voice.
Oh, see, I've never noticed that before. Natural water has never done it to me.
It must be holding my breath because you're slamming them shits together, and like there's all this air pushing against the bottom. That can't be good.
That's a sound theory. I'd be interested to know. I mean, that's a doctoral thesis for somebody out there.
Any of you PhDs out there, man, write in and tell us because we don't fucking know. That's not our world.
I'm not even kidding. Somebody
please.
could help a lot of singers if they could figure out which one it is and how you could control it or how you could help it.
Or because swimming, I've noticed it too with swimming.
Yeah,
it's like holding your breath and doing something active. It's tough. Here, let me get this beer out before you
All right.
get to the list. So this is the Ronald Dump, man. Make beer great again.
Ronald Dump, make beer great again. It better be good, goddammit. Well, okay, Donald Trump isn't any good, so why would this be good?
We're going to make... Look, it says grab them by the bottle on the back.
Oh!
Jesus Christ, I didn't notice that.
Topical.
And then it says also for tiny hands. Damn, they're just going... they're going all out on this bottle, man. Joke. Like yin, yang, bam.
No,
look,
listen.
You got to make that beer list at some point, by the way, man. You said you would.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get out all the beers that we had. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. And here's the sex.
The Ronald Dump.
That's okay.
That's okay, man. That's okay.
That's okay.
They went for funny. They didn't go for beer and quality, man. They went for funny.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If I made this beer, I would make it as shitty as possible. Yeah. Make America great again, and Donald Trump is fucking shit up over there. We're not living there right now, but goddamn, is it hard to watch the news. Whoo! It's hard to watch that guy do shit.
How would you translate the German on the back? It says, "Endlich gibt es das Bier für leere Phrasen," like for empty phrases.
Yeah.
Finally, there's a beer for empty phrases, Ronald Dump, and it tastes absolutely fantastic. Believe me.
Empty speech. Like when something's empty, it's empty promises. Empty promises.
Ah, okay, good. All right. Will you quit chewing in the microphone, man? Get off the mic. Look. All right, look, everybody. We recorded the last 20 goddamn minutes of this fucking podcast and then had a fucking microphone glitch, right? Say something into the mic. Let me see if it's
it
fucking
went like
working.
this. So I kept speaking, but everything Jared that came from Jared's mic was going.
Yes. It sounded exactly. Stop. It sounded exactly like that
time.
for 20 fucking minutes, man. And there was some gold. There was some gold in that 20 minutes.
Some gold. 20
All right,
minutes.
look, I'm gonna try to recreate it, okay?
No, we're not recreating
Mike,
shit. We're creating something new.
What's on the rest of your list?
Yeah, I'll tell you. No.
Oh man,
I'll tell you.
to lose 20 minutes of the podcast.
Gold. Number 2 was, and this is a it's a common one, but it's a real one. It's a struggle. It's a real struggle. Is the weekends and the holidays all being gone?
Yeah.
Working on all those goddamn days, dude. That's hard for everybody.
Yeah, man. I'm surprised to hear this is number 2 on the list. I've never heard this. No, it's true, man. Holidays, Christmas time in Germany, you're singing fucking New Year's Eve. You're doing
New Year's Eve is 2 performances oftentimes. Oh my god, this year we're doing fucking Fledermaus. Ugh. Oh shit. That show can suck my dick.
Fucking man, I tell you, no, every Christmas, every that, but also she said nights, right?
Yeah,
nights are harder, I think, because you're gone all the fucking time.
Yeah.
If you're a guest, if you're fest, opera happens at nighttime, man. But also the inconsistency in schedule.
Yeah.
Like when do you fucking know like a day in advance sometimes? You know, you and I are trying to get to the next week.
No, all the time, dude.
Yeah, but you and I are trying to plan next week to do a lot of shit, and we can't fucking plan it because as opera singers, we can't fucking.
Don't say it's my fault.
It took
it is
us,
my
it
fault.
took us 3 days to get this shit together. We're both opera singers, man. It's difficult.
Look, I sometimes know less than 24 hours. The standard deadline for the next day's plan to come out is 2:00 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
That means you know at 2:00 in the day before whether you have to work at 10 a.m. That's
Right.
tough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to plan when to take a kid to goddamn daycare or something, that's tough shit.
Yeah, man, and like sometimes rehearsals run over, you know, like you got to you don't want to be the dick. Like often they're on the clock, but sometimes when it's down to the wire and you got that guipe that it's called in English, a fucking dress rehearsal or whatever.
Right.
You know, sometimes shit goes wrong. You know, the podcast goes over by 20 fucking minutes, right? And you got to re-record it.
Not by us, because our fucking equipment fails. And we have to re-record it, so it's then 40 fucking minutes.
Right.
Then
Anyway.
40 or 50 minutes.
Night's gone. Okay. What else you got? What else you got on the list?
Oh, yeah, the last one is one that hits home. Home. It hits close to my heart, dude.
What's that?
Because she says...
I legitimately forgot what it was.
and I fucking... I fucking hate this because it's a part of me, right? So when Dodo says... my wife's name is Dodo. When she says this annoys the shit out of her, it feels like a part of my soul, like one of the twines that holds together my body is fucking with her, right? It's all the singing around the house. Drives her goddamn nuts.
You know what's funny is I don't know if that's like a non-singer thing, because honestly, I've dated singers and it's still kind of annoying sometimes when you're a fucking singer. You know what I mean?
No,
it's one of those things.
Is.
Like you burp, it's no problem, but you fucking burp when someone else is there, then they're like, "Will you shut the fuck up?" You know?
Well,
like
it's just okay. It's okay for me to make some noises. It's not okay necessarily for you to make some noises. Because so my big thing is I like to. So it's not the oh no, that's not what fucking bothers her. It's not the
See, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the
no, that's not what that does bother her. What bothers her is I have this tendency to make up tiny little fucking songs.
You do that shit.
All
man. You
the
do
fuck. Well, I don't have a tendency to. I have a crippling defect of making up tiny little songs,
It's
like little
genetically
jingles
coded
all the
into
time.
your fucking DNA,
So
man.
here's what happened. Listen, I used to have this fucking cat, right? In my masters. This fucking cat.
I can hear you trying to stuff down the emotion, man. Like
No, I love.
Yeah, I know you're trying to belittle it right now.
I
man.
love
You're
it.
trying
Yeah,
to-
no, I totally love this cat. I absolutely love this cat, and I normally fucking hate cats, but this cat was
build those walls
great.
up, man. Keep those walls. That's
Yeah,
fine.
you keep it down and press down as far and as hard as you can.
Yeah,
for as long as you
I
can.
fucking love you. Okay, just don't open up. All right,
Anyway.
tell us about the cat.
This cat we rescued from a shelter. This friend of mine in my masters and I, And it was the most disgusting fucking cat of all time because when we got it, they said, "Now look, this is a wonderful cat, but it will snot, it will sneeze and blow snot over everything that you have right now. But here, we've got some medication for it. It should be gone. This infection should be gone soon." So I went on 2 rounds of antibiotics for this fucking cat, right? Because what it would do is, oh God, Ralphie, I love you. Rest in peace, buddy.
Ralphie.
So what it would do is it would like come up to you, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be like, yeah, and it would go right on your chest, and it would just be like, I'd be like, "Hey, Ralphie," and he'd be like, and just fucking sneeze a big load of snot right across your nose, right across the bridge of your nose, right next to your eyeballs. Oh, he was gross. But I thought, okay, that's nothing a little medication, little antibiotics can't fix. After 2 rounds of the antibiotics, nothing.
Like no change, you mean?
No change at all. So I took him to like a specialty vet, and he said,
like a cat ENT.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, a guy who has way too much
scent.
cat on the brain.
Okay.
Way too much cat on the brain.
Which isn't having pussy on the brain.
Oh, sex, drugs, and opera. Anyway, this guy said...
So you're the sneezy pussy, yeah?
A snotty pussy, you mean. I had a snotty pussy.
A slimy pussy. Keep going.
Slimy, snotty pussy. What?
Blast through it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, this isn't even what this story was about, but I'm
doing
doing
it, man.
Anyway, he said, after he looked at her, he's like, no, this cat must have had an infection whenever it was young, because what's causing this stuff is scar tissue in his lungs.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to have this snot forever. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I can live with this, right? So he would come and wake me up in the morning, be like, and just right on me.
All right, good.
But it was the best cat ever. Anyway, the one time I woke up in the morning, and remember, this is about little jingles that I would write. I would pick up the cat, and I don't know if you guys can hear this beat, right? And I would pick him up like Simba in The Lion King and walk around my apartment completely alone, by the way. This is me and this cat in this apartment. I would go, "Yes, you are a motherfucking asshole. Yes, you are a motherfucking asshole. Yes, you are a motherfucking asshole. Yes, you are a motherfucking asshole today." Oh, and I would do it for 20 fucking minutes.
It's catchy, man.
It had a little rhythm to it.
All right.
"Yes, you are a motherfucking asshole today."
Yes,
it was
man,
good.
I thought we were going to go back at it.
No, it was good.
Yeah,
it was a good little jingle. And I do this shit today. I do this shit today.
Yeah, that would be annoying as shit.
Don't you remember? I sent you the one. What?
You send me them all the time, man. I don't think you realize I have at least 4 or 5 from you on my phone.
What was
somewhere.
the one I sent you about Genie? Oh yeah, it went like this. What? What do you wanna do up there, Genie? What do you wanna do? What do you wanna do up there, Genie? What do you wanna do? Ooh, what do you wanna do up there, Genie? What do you wanna do? You gotta get a little Michael.
I was gonna say that's a bit Michael Jackson. Look, man, you write some good hooks, man. We talked about hooks back in like
they drive
episode
Dodo
something.
crazy.
Yeah, because she probably wouldn't admit it, man, but they're catchy. And probably once you're done, you've planted the fucking seed.
The thing is,
you know? And then she's in the bathroom later, like fucking, singing.
Every once in a while,
shit, you know?
The thing is, Dodo every once in a while will come up with a good. Will come up with a good. What you call it? A hook.
Yeah, man, that's what it's fucking called.
That's a good term. I don't know that term, but she comes up with a good hook, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm like, yeah, I got you. I feel you, Dodo. And I do it, and I'll be like, and then she's like, "Mike, shut the fuck up." I'm like, "What? You started it. You started it." She's like, "Yeah, but I know when to end it."
Yeah.
And she's right.
Yeah, she's right, man. She's right.
I'd go on for a good hour.
I'm gonna say you might have a special case then, okay?
Yeah.
Most singers that have somebody living with them are just doing the hip hip hip, the fucking the shower singing. Yeah. 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 Did you get through the list then? That was all 3 on the list?
What do you wanna do up there, Genie? What do you wanna do?
Jesus
I
Christ.
love that. That one's a good
dude,
one.
how many days you been wearing that shirt, dude? You wore that. Mike and I on Thursday, okay? On Thursday when we tried to fucking do this podcast, Mike has an addiction. Shut the fuck up. I'm telling this whole thing, okay?
Okay, go on.
This is your time to listen, okay? Mike has a fucking problem with something in Germany called eBay Kleinanzeigen, which is basically Craigslist for Germany. And he will, if he sees shit for free that he doesn't need, he has to have it.
Wait, you think I got this shirt on eBay Kleinanzeigen?
No, man, but I'm saying the last time I saw you wear that shirt was a very sweaty day, a couple days ago, which I doubt you washed that shit because you wore that in the garden today. But Mike found a free fucking harpsichord, right?
You're at Chembalo, yeah.
Whatever the fucking difference is.
With 2 registers, too. The guy
Yeah.
was just giving it away. There's
Just
no
give it
way
away.
I'm going to let that go.
And so Mike doesn't have the room for that shit, and so he gave it to somebody else. But then we still moved it, right? So we go there and we move this thing, and of course it's one of these old buildings that has 3, 4 fucking stairs and no elevator.
Right, for each floor you got to make like 7 turns.
Oh
it's
my
crazy.
god! And we took that thing sideways, and we're sweating all over it, and it's like we almost died a couple
And
times.
my colleague, who's a wonderful guy but older than us, I thought he was gonna fucking die. I thought he was making sounds I have only heard in the death throes of people.
Yeah. What's that called? Like the
Chain Stokes is what it's called when somebody that breathing gets all weird. It sounds like. That's what he was doing. I'm like, what the fuck? He's gonna
There's
die.
a name for it. It's like the death whale or something. I get this, but there was. I know you're thinking of the same moment, man.
I thought it was.
We were on the stairs, and it's like you don't say words because that's what it's about. You're like when you're like shit. Hold on, it's actually still okay. But when someone starts going, like,
Jesus Christ,
like
this
you can't.
instrument is not important. Put it
Right.
down.
Oh my god! But no, we got that thing out. It was a sweaty fucking experience, and you were wearing that goddamn shirt.
Well,
so tell me, that was Thursday. Today's Saturday. Did you wear that shirt on Friday?
Look,
did you wear that shirt on Friday?
Did
you wear that shirt on Friday, Mike?
This is your problem because you forgot that we had the break in this episode.
Why?
Right?
You okay?
And you forgot that earlier in the episode I took off my shirt and cleaned up the beer with it. So I went up.
It's been like 40 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
I went upstairs and just grabbed some sort of shirt.
Okay.
And this is the one that I had on.
All
so
right,
fucking deal with it. Way to call me out in front of all the people who listen to us.
All right, man. But all 3 of you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, group. Listen, but that means did you pull that out of the dirty clothes?
No, it was just somewhere. I just found it.
You're still at fault, buddy.
Okay,
All right.
I'm down.
So if I remember back to the last 20 minutes, at this point of the podcast, I said, is there anything about sex you want to talk about, Mike? Did we cover it all? We talked a lot about
sex is fucking good.
Sex is the bee's knees, man. It's the bee's knees.
Getting your dick wet, that is one of the best. Whew.
Or getting your gush poked, you know?
Gush. Wait a minute. Isn't that one fucking mouse from Cinderella?
That's Gus, man. That's Gus, dude.
Gush. Didn't he do something like?
That's like Porky Pig, man.
No, but he stuttered too, didn't he?
Which is fucked up, man. What they did with those characters back.
Can you just imagine though a gush stuttering a little bit like?
Yeah, it sounds like a Pokemon or some shit. You know?
Poke me, man.
Look, I don't know how we got on the guy.
Gosh.
But look, sex is awesome, okay? Sex is the best, okay? It's the point of fucking life, okay? It's coded into us. It's great.
And it's one of the whole reasons why fucking opera exists.
Yeah, man, opera's about sex. And
look, Orfeo, let me just go back old school.
Yeah.
Orfeo, one at the beginning of opera. It wasn't the first opera. The first opera arguably was written by Jacopo Peri for all of you fuckers out there who give a fuck.
Yep.
But Orfeo, right? L'Orfeo, he was willing to go to hell. Go all the way into hell and drag her back.
Yeah.
My guess is because the sex was mwah.
Yeah, man.
Was mwah.
I imagine so. No, man, this is still a theme of Hollywood movies, man. People do crazy shit to get that, you know?
Look, and you know, I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, well, women they don't have sex drives the way men do."
What are you talking
50 Shades of Grey is a different. That 50 Shades of Grey and Magic Mike. Those
I liked Magic Mike, man. That's a good movie.
The gross the gross sales of those movies.
Yeah.
Fucking show what a sex drive women have. It's out there, guys. You guys have to find it. You have to do your due diligence.
Yeah, man.
And you have to do your part in this whole thing.
I think it's always been there, man. I think it's just a lot of the stuff that happened in history with women's rights and race rights and stuff wasn't that long ago, man. And so it's like it takes time for this stuff, but I think it's becoming more sociological normal. You know, it should be equal for everybody that we're allowed to be sexual and we're allowed to like be open about it. So it's a good time, man.
Hey, how much time do we have?
We have like 6 minutes.
All right. Well, then let me say this. Women, here's one for you, women.
Uh-oh.
Don't be quiet about your sexuality to your partner. How about, let's talk about that, right?
Open, being open.
Being open, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want something, guys, I'm telling you from the perspective of guys aren't mind readers, and we know so little about the sexuality of women most of the time. That you got to tell us what you want. You got to tell us what you got. And you got to tell us how you need it.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm serious.
No. Growing up as a guy, I mean, that's the only perspective we can give. So that's why we're giving this perspective. But and we'd love from here, women write in. Please write in. But we grow up in a world where we have to grow up through all this Hollywood shit, porn shit. You know what I mean?
Look, most guys grow up with that. And
yeah, and we're told that like that's not how it is. But you got to have a lot of life experience before you learn what sex really is, what love is. You know what I mean? And to filter through all that shit. As a young man, you know, as a teenager, that's hard, man.
Totally, but even in mature relationships, like you go from one,
sex doesn't need to be taboo
to the other partner.
Yeah,
there are differences, and you got to be open about communicating about that because look, it'll only be better.
Yeah, and
it will only be better.
That's sex, and that's everything. If you
and guys too. I don't just mean to say women.
Yeah,
you got to do it. Men got to do it too. You got to be open about that shit.
Yeah, and you got to do it right. But it's everything, you know? If someone's chewing and you don't like them chewing with your mouth open, it's better just to get things out in the open, man.
Yeah,
just be open.
Get that out there.
Nah, and sex, you're naked. You know what I mean? There's no clothes. It's like...
There are literally no boundaries.
This is what it is. You know, it's like, it's...
Man,
be open.
I feel underqualified to be talking about this.
We are completely underqualified. But the point is that...
Whatever, I've had sex.
Yeah, a couple times, right? A couple times.
I've done that at least twice, I can prove.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's in all honesty... To lead a dialogue or to start a dialogue in something, you don't have to be the most expert in something. But sex,
that's right.
Even now, as we talk about sex, I feel a bit taboo. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't be, man. It shouldn't be.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Why should that? Why should it be taboo to talk about at least being open? Because all we've said is, if you like oral sex, right? You should say it. If you like it this way instead of this way, you should say it. There shouldn't be anything taboo about that.
Yeah, that opens the road to compromise.
Yeah, compromise or just giving. The other thing is giving the partner the opportunity to be the sort of partner that they want to be, most likely. If somebody loves you and cares about you, they want to do that shit for you.
Yeah, and having having been on both sides of it in my life, being taught what somebody likes makes it more fun for you. It brings you closer. Also, teaching somebody what you like. You know, being on both ends of that is usually enjoyable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If the person doesn't take it as,
and
I don't want you to teach me.
And there's no rules for that. You got to enter into the conversation with the person as you do it. And like we're not giving relationship advice. We're not fucking qualified to do that shit. But
nobody mention us in any fucking lawsuits or anything like that. We are not qualified for this shit. Disclaimer. Do not listen to anything we say. We're idiots.
I thought we said some good stuff on this podcast, but like the thing is this: there's no way to structure this conversation on sex. We talked a lot about boundaries and like affairs and the like the dirty kind of close whatever of the opera world. There's a lot of beautiful stuff in that, but the overall, if I could sum up everything in one point, and maybe you can do the same afterwards if you have something to say, I would say, hold on, let's check. Nah, we're good. I would say, be open about it. Mm-hmm. And even if you're going to have a one-night stand with somebody, when you're 18, that kills the mood. You know what I mean? But when you're in your 20s or 30s, or when you're at a mature point in your life, before you get in there and before you complicate things, and you have sex with a castmate or a director, or you're gonna cheat or whatever, have the conversation.
Right.
Just before. When you're kissing or whatever, and before it gets in there, just say, "Look, is this just fun for you? Like, I don't want to talk about this at rehearsal tomorrow."
The other thing that does, and this is a big thing, right? Like, okay, so you're in rehearsal all the time, right? You're kissing. You're up on each other the whole time. It's fucking hot. Just put it that way. It's fucking hot, right? If it happens that if afterwards you're in a bar or something and things just keep going a little bit, without talking about it, if somebody thinks it's a mistake and they do it anyway just because you can't stop yourself in that moment, that's tough. But that tiny little second, that tiny little conversation, you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Can save somebody.
With yourself or somebody else? Having that conversation?
With somebody else.
So are you sure you
can
want to
either
do this?
save yourself, because maybe you don't want to do it either, but can save yourself or the other person.
Yeah, because I mean, sex.
I mean, seriously,
and
there are
what's-
some people who just make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah,
And if they wish they had a second before that to not make that mistake.
Yeah, dude. And sex, it's one of the things where the anticipation, the build up, the how you idealize it in your mind is often more fun than the whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I have sex for a long time, like 45 seconds, and it's like, no, I'm just fucking around, but not really.
Man,
it's-
that long.
Yeah, no, it's serious. Like you, just be open about it. You know what I mean? Be open about it. There's a lot of fucked up shit that happens in the world with it, but it's also one of the most beautiful things out there. There's no rules about it, but you just have to know you can't predict or control everything when you enter in with that with somebody else.
Well, look,
You know what
we once said, if you're an artist and you're not out there saying things and being open,
you got to experience life.
I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about you if you are not being open and showing me something. The same goes for sex. And the sex will help you be open, helps you be open on stage, helps you understand those things. But everything is better when you're open.
Yeah.
It's all a big circle. We're all circular.
I'll circulate.
Man, fuck it.
Fuck
Be
it.
open. You're dead a hell of a lot longer than you're alive. Live your life. Peace out, bitches. I'm done.
Yeah, man. I'm
Sex, drugs, and opera, baby.
That's the sex
Woo!
episode. Ugh, I'm done.